This is day 3 of your watercolor class. Since this is the week of the charts, you have 3 charts that you're going to have to do for your assignment. You're going to have a tint chart, you're going to have a value chart, and you're going to have an intensity chart. So you're going to have to build this structure for each of these charts. I'll go through it so you can see how to do this. I use a triangle. I'm going to use a soft pencil so you can see what's happening on the page. Each of these boxes is 3/4 inch by 3/4 inch. In the case of the tint chart, you're going to need to have, for most of your pigments, you're going to need to have 8 partitions. For the yellow, you're only going to need 5. But I would build this as an 8 partition layout, and then you don't have to fill in the last 3 on the yellow chart. All right, so we start by drawing a horizontal line. I use a triangle and line it up with the edge of my watercolor block, and then draw a line across. Now I'm going to make these lines fairly dark so you can see them, but when you do yours, you should do them quite light. I'm using a 3H pencil. You should use a 5H pencil so that you don't have these heavy lines in the process of painting. So I'm going to start with a horizontal line, then I'm going to line up with the top edge of my board, and I'm going to make sure it's square here and draw a vertical line down. And you need for it to go the entire length of the block, or just about. You then want to take your ruler, and along the vertical line that you've drawn, you're going to break this down into 3/4 and 1/4 inch marks. So we'll do 3/4, 1/4, 3/4, 1/4, 3/4, 1/4, 3/4, 1/4, 3/4, 1/4, until you have enough rows so that you can create all of these tints for each of the pigments that you have in the kit. So now that you have a tick mark here, you can realign your triangle, make sure you're square on the edges, and draw your lines across. And they should be parallel. If something's going up or downhill, you may have to eyeball an adjustment in order to make it work. So once you have all of these drawn, then you can do the same thing across, and now you're going to measure just 3/4 of an inch without the 1/4 inch separation, because we want all of these to touch one another. And make sure you have 8 partitions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And now it's just a matter of lining up your triangle so that you just draw down, and you'll have all of your boxes made in one gesture. Don't worry if you're a little off, you should be okay, but just kind of eyeball it and make sure your squares are pretty square and not getting too far off. So you can see now that we have all our partitions lined up, and you should be able to paint at this point. So as you can see, I have drawn in all the boxes. I've made them a little bit light, a little bit darker, so that you can see what they're supposed to look like. I have left a 1/4 inch between each set of boxes. We can fit all of our pigments on the same block.